Nick, I'm going to come right back to you. Let's get into it. For some of them, they don't have to wait. Dallas fans will not have to wait it out tomorrow to see if they're getting their guy. Dak gets his deal.
He got his deal.
I'm happy for Dak, but forget the Cowboys.
That's the thing. Cowboys. After all that happened, and the thing is, okay, so for those of you, just to get the numbers out of the way, it's a 4-year deal, $160 million. 126 of that is guaranteed. His first 3 years are $42 million. So he's got
money coming. Yeah.
I mean, it is, it's funny because in a sense you want to say, well, Dak played it right, but really Jerry Jones shot himself in the foot with this a long time ago.
Yep.
Because he should have had Dak's deal done a few years ago. Now he's probably over, and then Cowboy fans will probably argue with me, but he overpaid for Dak. He overpaid for Dak. You're giving this gentleman $40 million a year. You could have got him cheaper 2 years ago, Jerry. Like, I don't know what your economics guy is, who's your numbers person, but I don't know. Like I said, I like Dak as a person and as a player. Like, hopefully Dak will, I'm not a particular Cowboy fan, whatever, but
can you see it?
Yeah, Dak has now gotten his money though. So you've got your quarterback, you've got your running back. You got you got your receivers still. So let's see what the Cowboy, if Dak comes back healthy and strong after the injury, now you've got your offense together, Mr. Jones. See what you do.
Yeah, look,
Dak got his money like he wanted. So, hey, good for him. Good on him. But Jerry Jones, you totally blundered this entire thing.
Exactly. Exactly. And before I go to you, Delilah, I do want to say a message to Dak. Listen, Dak, they did you dirty.
Yeah.
You got hurt, and they waited till the 11th hour to pay you. Listen to me.
Dirty.
When you finally get out from under that contract, we'll be waiting for you. Yeah. We'll be waiting for you in Washington. But until that time.
After Tyler Heineke plays 3 years, right?
right. But until that time, Delilah, does this mean the Cowboys have got the NFC East? I mean, they've got a quarterback now.
It doesn't. It doesn't because so many factors, right? One, it looks like they got their offense, but a lot of things I read, they still have to kind of fix their defense, right? So that's the one thing too. They still have to work. So I guess it depends what they're gonna do during the draft, right? What are they gonna do to bulk up the defensive end of the team? But also, they're not the only. You have the Eagles being sneaky, right? And rebuilding, even though they want to call it that, right? So it looks like they're going to stick with Hurts, which I think is a good idea. Mm-hmm. And they're getting him some studs, and they're gonna have a really high pick. So I think that I would not say that the Cowboys have the NFC East at this point, because I think once I see what the Eagles do with the draft, we can probably go back and look at that again. But it's not guaranteed. No,
it's not.
Sorry, Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, Cowboy fans.
Don't get your hopes up. All right. Washington is still coming in hot.
Well, the thing is, that's the thing, though.
Realistically, and then I don't want to spend too much time on this because I like Cowboys. So, but Nick, I gotta say this. I gotta ask you. Is that relationship? I understand they got the contract, but as we saw with Deshaun Watson, who got a contract last year, and now we see that. Is this relationship between Dak and the Cowboys, or just Dak and Jerry Jones, is that relationship fractured?
I would have to think to some degree that it is, but I think we had mentioned this before, and again, everybody's different in the way that they handle their business, and everybody's in it for a different reason. Mm-hmm. With Deshaun, it's a matter of principle and respect.
Yeah,
that's what he demanded. That's what he felt he didn't get, so he wanted out. Dak has been about the money. And Dak was like, I want to get my money. I want to be one of those guys who, when I retire from the NFL, I've got a huge nest egg. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dak was about the money, and Dak got his money now. So you could argue that, hey, come on, Dak, how could you let him treat you like that? Dak is treating it like a business. He's doing it as a businessman. It's not about loyalty. It's not about, because I guarantee you, he probably, behind the closed doors, he's probably cursing out Jerry Jones. But for now, you're like, hey, I'm the quarterback. It's my team. I got the money I wanted. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's a business. And unfortunately, in the NFL these days, that's the way you look at it. It's a business.
Yeah.
It truly is. Loyalty's out the window these days when it comes to the NFL. It's a business. So whatever I can get, whatever. Yeah.
I got to tell you, and fans, I got to tell you, it is a different way to look at football. You look at it from a business standpoint as opposed to how you feel inside, how you're
loyalty. Oh.
You know what I mean? Oh, I love this guy. Oh, no. He's trying to get that money because, like Dak saw, as soon as you get hurt, they really, they leverage on it.
And that's the thing. Like, honestly, Dak, I think, is as much as he also got lucky because Dalton played so bad that they went, oh my God, we need Dak. Like, it became such a cluster, that it was like, no, we need Dak back. We got to make this deal happen. We got to get, Andy Dalton was never going to be the answer, but fine. You did what you had to do. But yeah, you saw that without Dak, this team was absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
Sorry, Janae.
Look. We all know.
It's hard for me to keep track of the comments on Sean's thing because I wish that the comments would show up on our screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know because David was saying, no, we don't, Nick. We are way over the cap.
Wait, David.
What's it again?
Wait, David Wright. Wait, I know. See, he's one of the people that hates this. He hates that they got Dak. Dave, I want to get you in here. Let me see if I can't do that for a second.
I just saw it. I saw a comment on your feed, Sean.
Dave is upset by all this.
He is not a Dak fan. Shout out to my boy David Wright because he came on when Dak first when Dak was struggling. Even though he was doing so good, throwing for big numbers and this and that, David came on Let's Talk Football and told us, look, he's not the new Tony Romo. This not going to give him a pass for throwing 450 yards in a losing effort. No, you're not winning games. So shout out to you, Dave, because Dave's realistic. I got it. We have the space on here. We have this. I called out my boy. I said we have this platform, so I want to give him a chance to defend his position.
Oh.
We said, hey, Dak gets the deal.
Is David joining us?
David Wright. My God.
David. Yo. Thanks for joining us, David. How are you doing?
I mean, I see you guys already moved on to Russ, and
no, we're coming. I want
to. But we'll come back for you. Come on, tell us what you want. Right, say something. Come on, I know you got something to say. I want to hear it.
Okay. So Nick, you were talking about, Delilah mentioned my comment about we're over the cap now, man. Yeah. We do not have all those offensive players anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, right.
The cap is going down this year. And that's what all these players didn't understand this year was that after last year with COVID, the salary cap was going to go down.
Down, right.
You know what? It's projected at $180 million.
Yes.
And you want to pay a quarterback $40 million.
40 mil.
42 for the first year.
126 guaranteed.
You're not even a top 5 quarterback in the league, and you want to squeeze your team. All right. And here, look, if he was playing for, let's say, Chicago or the Jets, somebody with a smaller market, less marketable as a player, then I would say go get your money.
Yeah.
You are the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody wants to talk about how Dak has made pennies. Oh, the poor guy was on his rookie contract. He's like over $50 million in endorsements.
Oh, yeah.
How did he get that? Did he get that based off of his arm strength? Mm-hmm. No, he got that because he is the quarterback of the single most marketable sports franchise in the history of sports.
Yeah.
The only sports entity in the world in the history of sports that matches us is what? Manchester United?
Is it Manchester United? Right. Yeah. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Like, get out of here. I mean, the man has already made his money.
Yeah.
And now it comes down to, do you want to win Super Bowls or do you not want to win Super Bowls? Tom Brady understands this. Yes, the one single point of credit I will give to Tom Brady and that he was the difference maker in Tampa Bay was the pay cut he took to go there and bring in the pieces around him. Now, Dak, you want to make money or do you want to win Super Bowls? Because if all you care about is money, take a walk, brother. Right. I'll find somebody who wants to win.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Dak treated this like a business, and Jerry Jones blundered this from the beginning. Yeah. 2 years ago, he could have signed Dak to a contract that probably would have been about $35 million a year, maybe. And that, I'm just saying, it would have been 30, 35 million. Yep. You probably would have gave him for like 3-4 years. And Dak at that point would have been happy with that. Yeah. But after all this stuff happened and you signed Zeke and you started throwing money at everybody else and you didn't give Dak anything.
But this is what Jerry Jones, this is what the Dallas Cowboys understood from day one about Dak. Dak is not Russell Wilson. He is not Patrick Mahomes. He does not lift his team. He is a game manager.
Right.
So what did they do? They went out and got all the pieces that they knew Dak needed to be successful. Now, if you pay Dak a couple years ago, Nick, what happens? You might not get Amari.
You might not get a CeeDee Lamb or an Amari Cooper.
You might not have built that offensive line.
Yeah.
No,
Jerry. I think they have a good offensive line. That's the thing, important thing there too. Like, the offensive line is one of the best in the NFL.
Not anymore.
Well, not anymore, but I mean, it was. I mean, come on.
He had 3 solid years with a top 3 offensive line in the league.
I know.
And
that's
what
I'm saying. Like,
playoff wins, NFC Championship.
So all right. So David, that's why I have to ask you this, and this, like what I asked Nick. Okay, we saw the injury. We saw how the outpouring of support for Dak, and we miss you. We want you back, and this and that. I think Jerry made a statement at that point when he said, "I'm not signing you right now," and then, but then to wait until the 11th hour and then sign Dak. Are we heading to, and this is what I ask them, are we heading to a Deshaun Watson Houston situation where it's like you get this money this year, but the relationship is so fractured that it doesn't matter?
Okay, so I actually posted something on the page, and it was my plan going forward. No use crying over spilt milk. Yeah. We already paid him.
Right.
So how do we go forward with this? My last point on there was to assassinate Jerry Jones.
I saw that. I saw that post.
So, David's statements are those of his own and not the express written consent of anybody else on this show.
Right.
Disclaimer.
That was David Wright. Right here. Jerry will come out.
I think that Dak's single biggest point of leverage was his intangibles, his leadership.
Yeah. People loved him.
The way he was that solid team guy. He never said a bad word about anybody. No. He was always rah Cowboys, team first, until this contract.
Right.
He just put the lie to everything he's been saying for years. He doesn't care about the team. He doesn't care about wins. He doesn't care about Super Bowls. He cares about money. Yeah. I think Dak lost a lot of credibility with this move and pressing the Cowboys this far, because all those guys who were supporting Dak through all this in that locker room, with the salary cap hit the league's about to take, you're about to see a few less faces in that locker room. Other guys are about to start losing money.
Yeah.
Now everybody sees Dak for what he is. How long do you think that team's going to stand behind Dak?
Exactly.
Right.
So you're talking about, is the relationship fractured? Where is Dak mad at the team? My question is, in 2 years, when the Cowboys have to start making cuts because of this deal, when guys have to start restructuring their deals because of this deal,
let's go.
Does that locker room still trust Dak? When Dak goes out there without the weapons that he had for the last couple of years, and he's not getting it done, and he gets exposed because his pocket awareness is trash.
Yeah.
He is an inaccurate quarterback. Bottom line, he is inaccurate. He throws some absolute dimes at times, and he also overthrows and underthrows wide open receivers.
Yep.
So when you go out there and do that after you just took money away from your whole locker room,
so he's Mitch Trubisky.
Are you? Yes. Is that locker room going to continue to follow that?
Like I see what you're saying. Like, and the and we're just poking jokes, right? But I see what David is saying, right? So now I guess what do you do during the regular season, right? Let's see what's going to happen now.
I mean, like you said, you just go out there. David said, you just go out there and you play. Whatever happens is going to happen.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
like he said, in 2 years when some of the other contracts are up and guys want their money, and you're still paying Dak this $42 million a year,
right?
You're going to have less money to pay them. As he said, you may see some guys who will be gone.
All right, hey, look, while we have you on the show, because I can't, my skin is starting to crawl. I can't talk about the Cowboys anymore. Okay, so